I'm going to do a crash course here on blogging. So I've got quite a few clients of mine. I do yoga website design, and a few of them are interested in blogging. Rightfully so, because Google loves the blogs, and it's also a great way of creating content. If you do a blog post, and you can turn that into a handout for your students, or you could just tell your students to go to your blog post, and it could be a blog post you're doing. You're writing the blog post regarding a yoga sequence you're doing during a 6-week course that you've got, and you can just funnel people and get your students to go to your website and say it's all there. You can go to the website and look at the blog post, and you might have a PDF there to download as well. So that will save you some paper, having to take handouts to the class. I still like doing that. I'll still print out the handouts for the students. But if you didn't want to do that, you can just have it all up on your blog and do it that way. So crash course, I'm going to do the basics here. So anything in life. I used to be a professional golfer, and Jack Nicklaus, best golfer of all time, and his golf coach Jack Grout, all he ever taught him was the basics, which was grip, stance, alignment, how you're aiming, your posture over the ball. Same thing with anything in life is if you focus on the basics and you do the basics really well, you'll be fine. So I'm going to cover the basics and let's get going. So I'm going to go to my own website, so georgewatts.org, and here this site is it's got over you see over here I've got 236 posts, and they're all for my fellow yoga teachers. So since 2010 I've been adding 236 blog posts to this, so let's get going here. So first thing you got to do with the blogging is you'll come over here on the left hand side and you'll see posts, and that's where you'll do everything. So the posts has all your posts, add new category and tags. First thing you're going to do is just go into, if you haven't got any posts, and this is your first one, you'll obviously go to add new, and you'll add some new ones. But the first thing is a pretty good one to do is to add new categories. So you only really need 2 or 3 or 4. Maybe 3 or 4 is the optimal, unless you're a massive site. But even the big sites, really, they tend to have 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 6 categories. So here, even though it looks like I've got a lot of categories here, most of them aren't live, or have got a lot in there, or I'm not showing them on the site. So I really only have 3 or 4 or 5 categories I use that people can see on my site. So here's what you'll do. You just go here. So whatever you're interested in. So if you're interested in teaching pregnancy yoga, obviously one of your categories would be pregnancy yoga. So you type it in there, pregnancy yoga, and that'll be one of your categories. And over here you can just do a slug there, and it'll be the same thing. The slug, I normally just copy that, paste it into there, put that as a little lowercase, keep it all lowercase, put a hyphen there, that in lowercase, and pregnancy yoga, and then to that. And if you're staying, and you know you're going to be staying in your where you geographically are, you could even put, like, I'm based in Mid Wales, so I could put Mid Wales, or I could put Powys, which is the county that I live in, or I could put in the main town, Llandrydnod, Wales, where I teach. So you've got that option as well. That just helps a bit with your SEO with the slug there. But you could just have it as pregnancy yoga. That's what I've done on all mine. Just have it as the title. You don't need to mess around with any of the parent stuff there. You can put a little description there if you want to. I generally don't put a description, but you could put 1 or 2 sentences about stuff there. That's it. So you can do that over and over again. You click add new category, and that'll add the category, and it will come over here on the right hand side. And I'll add that now just to show you. So added that, and it's come down here. It's all from A to Z, so there it is. I've already got one called pregnancy yoga, yeah, it's gone to the top there. So I've already got a category called pregnancy yoga, so it's gone to the top. It will make it go from A to Z. It will organize from A to Z, probably when you log out and come back in. But I'm just going to delete that. So if you want to delete a category, you just come over there, slide your mouse over, and you can either edit it if you wanted to change that. Say if I wanted to change that to another name, I can go in there and edit that. But here I'm just going to go delete. Yeah, and delete that there because I've already got that category. And so yeah, so that's all you got to do there. The next thing, obvious one, is you're going to create a post. So go into here and you're going to click add new. And because I live in the middle of Wales, internet connection's a bit slow. Okay, here we go. So add new post, title. So I've got a blog post on my website which helps coming up with titles and for your blog posts. So I'll provide a link. I'll be putting this up on YouTube, so I'll provide a link to that blog post if you're interested in creating interesting, captivating, eye-grabbing titles. And it's actually really important. You almost want to spend as much time on the title as you do actually creating the body of the content for your blog post, because obviously the first thing that people see will be your title, and if it's a boring, lame title, even though it's yoga, we can make it make the title interesting. So see if you can come up with an interesting title. But the main thing within the title as well is to put one of the key words that you're doing, or one of the main. So every I gotta explain this. Every blog post, you just want one keyword phrase that you're going for. So you wouldn't want to do 2 or 3 or 4 blog posts on how to do a headstand. So you just do one blog post on a headstand, make it a really good blog post, and then your keywords will be, could be how to practice headstand, or you could add the Sanskrit. I've got a terrible memory, so Sanskrit, it's way over my head. I have to look it all up. I know a few of the Sanskrits, but anyway, but if you're great at Sanskrit and you want to put the Sanskrit in there, brilliant, or you can just look it up, put the Sanskrit in there. So you could say how to practice headstand, and then you could put the Sanskrit there, whatever there. Again, that's a little bit still not quite exciting. So the titles, I'm going to spend too long. If I get into how to do the titles, it'll take forever. So I could spend days on how to come up with all the titles. So that's why I go to my link on the I provide to that post on how to come up with interesting titles. So I've got about over 100 examples of titles that you can use as your own formula. So that'll help. And then with the body, the main sort of things within all my client sites, you'll scroll down here, you'll see down here is WordPress SEO by Yoast, and here you've got focus keyword, SEO title, and meta description. And I'll come to that in a bit, but this is an important part. So what I'm going to do is now come out of here and go to one of my blog posts I've already done to make life a little bit easier and not make this a huge epic video. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. So I'm not going to want to save this, that's fine. So I'm just going to go into my all posts, and yes, it's asking me because I haven't saved the draft or done anything. WordPress is a bit worried, and I'm going to say that's okay, I want to leave the page. So I've not saved it. So if you wanted to save that, you'd obviously save before you went out. But even doing that, it saved the draft there. So that's how good WordPress is. But I'll just go into here and just trash that because I don't want it. Okay, taking its time. So there we go. So here's one of my latest blog posts. So I'm going to edit that, and I'll just cover this post here. Obviously my target market, I help my fellow yoga teachers. If you're a yoga teacher looking at this, your target market will be your students. So my title here, I've got record your yoga classes, create 160 passive income streams in 1 year. So that's an attention-grabbing title. This is something I did only a few days ago, and within a day of putting this up, I'm setting up a new service where my fellow yoga teachers can strap jogging armband to their arm and put their smartphone into the arm, put a lavalier microphone into the smartphone, click the record button on their recording app, and then during the class they'll be recording their class. At the end of the class, they'll click stop, and they'll have an MP3 file, and they can then upload to the website, and they can start earning passive income from that audio. So very little effort. A brilliant resource for yoga teachers who are looking for other income streams. So it's not just your average income stream, this is passive income. So all you've got to do, you don't have to do anything extra, you just put the phone on, record your class, upload it to the website, and then you'll come up, this will be a good thing that we're learning here, you'll then come up with a title, subtitle, bit of a description for your audio, and then you're done. So within 10 minutes, you can have a passive income stream. So this is the blog post I've written, created for that purpose, is to promote this new service. So that's why I got this catching title here, and I then repeated that here as a H1 tag. So this is there. I've gone over to here, and if you see over here, there's heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You'll have your title as heading 1, and that's the only title. The only text on your page that you want as heading 1 is your title at the very top of the page. And then I've got, this is a short code to create a bit more space. If you don't have this short code plugin on your WordPress site, it'll just show up as BR. But if you need more space on your website and you're a client of mine, just ask me and I'll add this plugin to create more space. But yeah, so if I just read very briefly, the most important part, the second most important part of your blog post. The first most important part is your title, catchy title. Second most important part is your opening sentence. So my one is one of the easiest, quickest, and most enjoyable ways to increase your yoga teacher income has just arrived. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? It's intriguing, and that first sentence hopefully will lead people to read the second sentence, and I've got them hooked and they'll read through hopefully. So here you can go on, and you can come to my website if you want to later and just have a look at this blog post, or have a look at any of my blog posts if you want to see how I've laid it out and get some ideas. And you don't have to just go to my website, you can go to lots of other, just type in yoga blogs into Google and just start looking at how other yoga teachers have done their blog posts. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, see what they're coming up with, and then put your own personality into it and come up with something similar, but let your personality shine through. I think that's a really important one. People think they have to reinvent the wheel and do something completely brand spanking new. No, it's just you could spend hours and hours and hours creating a blog post. Just go out there, see what other yoga teachers are doing. Say if you've got an idea for if you want to do if your lesson plan is, you've got your main theme, or your theme for the plan is doing this headstand maybe, or a shoulder stand during the class, and that's your peak pose, and your whole lesson plan is geared towards leading up to this peak pose. You do a blog post on how to do a headstand. Maybe you got a friend or a partner can take a photo of you in your studio if you've got a studio at home, or even if it's in the front room, take a photo of you in the headstand, and just add an image, featured image. So that's the other important part. You'd come down here, and this is where you add the featured image. So there you go, you add it there. I've got other blog posts on my site on. It's quite important. If you've taken a photo, especially with a camera, they can be really big, like 4,000 pixels, and they're big size, they're like 4 or 5 megabytes. So you don't want to upload that to your website because it will slow down your website. So if you go to something called PicMonkey.com, so if I open a new slide here, and I'm just going to type this in, PicMonkey. So you can go to PicMonkey, and you upload your. I've done a a video and a blog post about PicMonkey before, so I'm not going to go over it again here. But essentially what you do is you'll go into here, you'll upload your this is all free, by the way, you don't have to sign up. You just upload your image and you are good to go. So here, I'll pick Monkey and we're going to choose a photo to edit. So you come into here and you go computer, it's on your computer, you click on your computer, get your image, and you'll upload it. So if I'll do a quick one, for example. Say I want to do this one here. Not sure what image is this. So this, I've just been to a filming workshop a couple of days ago, and this is one of the images taken of me. So that's little old me over there. So what you can do here, so this will probably be too big. So what you'll do is just go over here to the left. So once you've got that image up, you could go to resize. And so this would be too big. 1200 pixels by 803 is too big. And I'm just going to resize that to 795. And that's fine. That'll do perfectly. And I'm going to click apply, and that'll be fine. So I normally keep mine 795 by whatever, and you'll be fine with that. And then if you want to do other stuff here, if you wanted to sharpen, so it's really easy to use. You just go to sharpen, and you can sharpen stuff up a bit if you wanted to, and see if that looked better. You can do the exposure. So if I wanted a bit more brightness there, I could move that up and down like that. So that's okay. Highlights, how am I doing there? Highlights there, yeah, that's good. Bit of shadow, yeah, that's fine. Click apply. And you can do a bunch of other stuff here. I'm not going to get into it. You can just go on there and have a play. And I'll also provide on YouTube, I'll provide the link to the blog post and the video that I've already done on this. So once you've done that, you can then come up here and you click save. So I'm going to save it here. Another important part over here, the fun part they've got, is the quality of the audio. I mean, not the audio of this image. You've got Roger, Pierce, or Sean for 007 characters. And then it shows the size down here. So down here, this file size is 116. So that's still pretty big. So I'm gonna choose Roger. And you can still see the quality over here. The size has gone down a bit there to 88. So I'm a bit happier with that. So I'm going to click save to computer, and there it is. So it's going to save. Where's it going to save that? I'll save that to my downloads. Click save. So now that's gone. I can get out of here. That's gone to my computer on my downloads folder. So I can scroll on down. Just say that, for example, you haven't got an image here. I'm just going to remove that image. I'll put it in later. But set image. And now I can just upload an image. So over here on the left, I can just click upload. And I can just drag the folder into in here if I wanted to. So I can come out of here and drag. But normally I just go select files. I'm in the downloads. And here is the image there. So uploading that. And there it is. So you can put the title, have that related to what it is. So if it's about the headstand, I'd put yoga headstand. It could be like actually how to practice, or how to do or perform, whatever, how to do yoga headstand. I'll copy that. I normally put that in the alt tag, alt text. Google kind of likes it if you got that as alt. The alt is when you mouse over the image. This is what will come up, how to do yoga headstand, and normally just copy in the same thing for the description, how to do yoga headstand. Click set featured image. Well, that comes up there, and that will show in the featured image later. My connection's a bit slow, so you're not seeing the image at the moment, but that will eventually come up. You'll see there it is. There's the image. So you just create the here. I've just got these in tips formats and bonus little bonus tips. And yeah, so here the important part here is you want each of your blog posts. You just want one thing that you're doing the blog post on. So here the focus keyword I've got here is record your yoga classes. Yours, if it was to do headstand, would be you'd write in here how to practice or how to do yoga headstands. And it'll be the same thing here. I put the same keyword phrase there. I put the title there, how to do yoga headstands. So whatever you put for your keyword phrase, I put as the title. And then the meta description, this is what is shown when you go to Google and you type in yoga headstands. Yours might come up hopefully in the first few on the first page. And when you see the description of it, just below the link, this is what that description is here. So whatever you put in here is that description that shows up when you're looking on Google underneath the link. And so it's quite an important one. So you want to create something that's interesting here. So I've taken some of this from I think the first sentence of my blog post. So one of the quickest, easiest and most enjoyable ways to increase your yoga teacher income has just arrived. Record your yoga classes. So yours would be something about yoga, why it's so great to practice yoga headstands. It's one of the ancient yogis considered it one of the best or the best. They called it the king of poses, one of the best poses you could ever do, blah blah blah. But you've only got 156 characters here. If you go over that, it will go ... at the end if you have a look at it on Google, and you'll run out of thing there. So you want to keep this here. If I went over this, there you'll see it goes into red and minus. So you don't want that. You want to keep that within the green, so you know the whole of your meta description here will show up when someone's looking for you in Google. And that's it in a nutshell. The other quick thing I'll just go through here, you can spend a bit of time on the. It's not crucial here, but you can spend a bit of time on the page analysis. It's a good thing to go through. Don't get too scared by the reds. It's almost impossible to get full green, but that's kind of what you're after, but it's never going to happen. So don't worry so much about this, but it's interesting to go into. So you can go into page analysis there, and you can see it gives you recommendations. The greens means you've done it perfectly. Orange means it's a suggestion, it's not crucial, and the reds, I've got one red here, and they're saying that's quite an important thing to do. Is to do here, it's saying the keyword doesn't appear in the first paragraph of the copy. Make sure the topic is clear immediately. So that's probably a good thing to do. So my keyword, when they're saying keyword here, is the focus keyword here. So they're saying record your yoga classes. So if I copy that right now, they're saying in the first paragraph there, it's not showing up. I don't know why, because it's in my headline. So it's not infallible, I don't think. Possibly they mean in the first sentence. Has just arrived. So maybe I can go has just arrived. I can put that there. Record your yoga classes. So that possibly means the first sentence of the paragraph there. So I'll do that, and then click save. Okay, so clicked on save there. So let's. The other thing we've got here is then your categories. So you might have added 3 or 4 or 5 categories here, and sometimes I do a blog post that covers 2 or 3 of my categories. So here I've got a category called residual income for yoga teachers, one for yoga lesson planning tips, and yoga marketing tips, because this kind of encompasses all 3 of them. And so so I'll put that there for you. You just probably have one, and if it was you might have a category for asana of the week or something, could be one of your categories, and so you just tick that there. If you don't tick it there, it'll go to like a default category and it won't show up there. So it's quite important that you select a category. Also important for SEO and to make your site a bit more user friendly, because you can put all these tags, and then I'll show you in a bit where these tags go. So here I put lots of tags here related to my blog post, and what the site does for you, it helps you do it. So income, when I put income yoga, I get a lot of suggestions here, so I don't have to really think too hard. It comes up with it, so I just clicked all of these. You can't add too many these, so you can go wild on this and add as many tags as you think is relevant, and all these tags help with the SEO. So sometimes I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, sometimes I've got more. Sometimes I just have 1 or 2. But there, and that is about it. So remember, we're just covering the basics. This is all I do. I've been I've got 256 posts at the moment. I've been posting since 2010. This is all I do. So there's lots of other fancy stuff that I guess you could do. Every now and again, I'll do like a video here. I've got a YouTube, do a YouTube video and just insert copy the YouTube URL, paste it in, and WordPress automatically recognizes it as a video and it just puts the video in. That's all you got to do. So if you do something and you record or something and you want to put a bit of videos that you've done and that you've put up on YouTube, very easy to do. You can add that to your blog post. And that's it. The other little trick here, I've only done it once here. What have I done here? So I've even, I don't do things perfectly. It's not about getting it perfect. I've just come back from a filming workshop, and these guys have done top documentaries, and they said that they mess up more times than they're always messing up. So they never do anything perfect, and neither will you, neither do I. And I've been blogging for years, but here I should really have that as instead of a paragraph, it should be like a heading. So maybe that should be like a heading 3. I'll have that there, and that will show up a bit better on the SEO rankings for having these are your, not subtitles. I guess they are. There's another word for it, but mine's gone blank right here. But throughout the copy, you got your header, which is H1 tag, which we covered earlier. That's when you did it up there. You might have a subheading. I generally kind of don't have a subheading. That's it. You could have a subheading, but if you had a subheading, it would go here. You click center, and maybe that would be heading 2 or 3. Obviously, you want it less than that. But throughout the copy, if you've got certain topics that you're covering throughout if it's a fairly long blog post, you can then put as heading 3, or how I had it before. If I go undo, so you've got this undo button over here, and that's gone back to, no it hasn't, let me just go undo again. Has that gone back there? Undo. Undo, there you go. So it's gone back to how it was there. Really, that's fine. You don't even bolding content or words on your blog post is good. I think sometimes if it's too big content, it doesn't make it that readable. But if you I really I should do it, but there's a million things you should do in life. So I guess it's a good practice to get into if you've got lots of sub things going on, subtopics. Each subtopic you at least bold it, but then you can come up here and do it I'd probably do it like a heading 4. It's a better size there. Go into heading 4, and that's fine. It's a better size. I do it there. So these wouldn't need, because they're already subtopics there, so they can just be plain bold. And even though bolding, they say bolding or italicizing, Google kind of likes, but only a little bit. The first and most important thing is to make it readable for your user. Don't worry, really shouldn't worry at all about what Google likes. They're just write really good content, and then let the SEO. The search engine optimization take care of itself. Knowing a few little things for the SEO is good, just like the heading. Have your heading as H1. That's a good thing to know. And adding your a few of your keyword phrases throughout. So if your keyword phrase, like mine, is record your yoga classes, if I've got that, maybe said that 2 or 3 or 4 times throughout the blog post. If it's a fairly long blog post, that helps. But you don't want to, you don't really have to think about it. Just concentrate on writing a really good blog post, getting some ideas online from it. So don't. It's really difficult to have a blank blog post here. So this is blank, and you're trying to write something. Generally, what I'll do, I'll get some books out. I'll look online, get some ideas, have a pen and paper to hand, scribble some ideas in a mind map format. So a mind map, just got the central idea circled on the page and then radiating off. You've got ideas coming out of it. So I find that a good way of coming up with stuff, and it's how the brain works best, because it just is really. It's more holistic using the brain instead of just linear going through writing sentences. So I hope that helps. I think that's covered the basics. So I think if there's anything else here, naming this here. So say if you're writing something here and you've forgotten to do the title, so you do the title first, and that'll fill in whatever you put in there will fill in there, but you don't want that too long. So you'll see my title there is quite long, and this here is shorter. I've just got record your yoga classes, and that's it. That's my title. So if I wanted to edit that, say that was too long, what you can do is just click on the edit button there, and you can go in there and you can edit your what it is. The main trick here, between each word, you'll see I've got a hyphen. You'll need to put a hyphen between each word that you have on your title, just for SEO purposes. Because if I put record your yoga classes without hyphens, the Google bots, little machines that come along and look at this blog post, wouldn't recognize that. It's just all one word. It'd be one word to them. So that's why you've got to put those little hyphens in. There, click OK. So that's all done. So I'm going to go down here right now. I'm just going to remove this image, and it'll be a good little recap here. I can delete that because it's nothing to do with yoga whatsoever. So I'm going to delete it. Go over to there, delete, put that one back in, click set image, and that's good to go. So I really hope that helps. If you have any questions about anything on blogging, or if you're a yoga teacher, any questions about how to make extra income, and if you're interested in recording your yoga classes, making passive income, great, come to my website, georgewatts.org, send me an email or give me a call and I'll chat you through it. And that's it. Hope it helps.